Toronto Public Library will have experienced a 17% cut in its workforce since amalgamation. This is not only a loss of livelihood for a worker today, but a loss of opportunity for the next generation to be able to work, as I have had the privilege of doing for the past 16 years for the Toronto Public Library system. And to be able to become that important person in Toronto, a taxpayer, which we all are, Mr. Mammoliti, Mr. Ford, and Mr. Del Grande. Just in case you forgot, we are taxpayers. Toronto told us that a library made their city more livable and prosperous. Yet, despite the fact that 18 million citizens come through our doors last year, the Fords still continue to target the library budget. Already with the approved cuts, there will be less books on the shelves and a more personal library experience as machines replace workers on the front line. We know that libraries make this city great. Libraries make a difference in the lives of low-income families and new Canadians. Shame on Budget Chief Del Grande for saying that library material should only be bought in English. In our Toronto, the most multicultural city in the world. I would like to give one shout out to Councillor Raymond Cho today, who put forward a motion to try and roll back some of the budget cut that the city continues to want to put through. We are still facing a $3 million cut, but I would like to thank him for that. So thank you for being here today to continue to deliver the message to the Ford administration that this budget lunacy must stop. Thank you very much, Toronto.
Libraries under attack, what do we do? I must say, I can't see any of you, but it looks great, and you're all here in the rain. So we're going to move it along. The next up is, in this budget, they have announced that 3 shelters are being cut. Shelters that house the ones that are most vulnerable are under attack, under the threat of being contracted out. Speak to us about this important impact on such a short-sighted strategy and ideas from this Ford administrations. We have a shelter worker who works at Seton House, Bernadette Hood, a member of QP Local 79. No contracting out! No contracting out!
Sisters and brothers, Toronto, how are you doing tonight? My name is Bernadette Hood. I work at a city shelter. I'm here to tell you and to speak from my heart. This is a very difficult time for shelter workers and also our clients. On a daily basis, at the shelter where I work, we see about 100 to 150 people coming through our doors. They come on a daily basis looking for food and shelter. At this time, I cannot tell you how difficult it is and how uncomfortable it is for the people we serve. At this time, we have 3 of our shelters under attack. Bellwoods, to name one, Fort York Shelter, and also our shelter out there who house the old men called Birchmount Residence. Where are we going to house an 80-year-old man, our father, our grandfather, our uncles? Where are they going to go? They have lived there for the majority of their lives. Where are they going to go? It is very, very difficult at this time. I want to tell you that we need to understand what is happening, because with these shelter cuts, we have a number of other employees who cook and clean the shelters. They are also under attack. Our sisters and brothers will be out of jobs. Toronto, we are asking you to get out here. Keep up the momentum. Keep it up. Please, come out. Come out, because we are under attack. We need to keep the homeless people in the shelters. As our sister who went before said, the housing stock owned by the TCHC are going to be sold. So where are we going to put the homeless people? If there are no housing, where will they go?
Occupy!
So we need to know, we need to continue to keep up this fight. I will leave you with this. So. Solidarity! So. Solidarity! So. Solidarity! Thank you very much, sisters and brothers.
If there's one abysmal, totally revolting attack, it's the attack on children in this city. Subsidized daycare spaces for moms and fathers to subsidize their children. And Aaron George is going to speak today from Mothers of Children. Okay. Mothers for Childcare, sorry. So we're with Mothers for Childcare.
Yes!
Mothers for Childcare. We all know that our neighbors and fathers and grandparents are also for childcare, so thank you for being here today. Ford has created a crisis so that he can attack what makes our city great. But you are not going to let him do that. They're attacking our shelters, our community housing, our libraries, our child care centers. And we are going to stop them. These little kids up here are not gravy. Mothers for Childcare did a survey last year and found that the waiting list in Toronto for childcare spaces is so long that most mothers said they should have applied before they were pregnant. And Ford's budget proposes not building child care centers, not creating more spaces for these little ones, but to cut spaces, to close 3 child care centers, close 100 child care spaces. We don't have room in the system for that. The waiting list is too long. We need a mayor and a council that will build our city, that will build child care centers, that will create more spaces. The Mothers for Childcare, we're with you. We're with all the other campaigns that are fighting to defend our city, our great city, because our city is not the city of Ford and his councillors. Our city is a city of kids like this, of recreation centers, of community housing, of libraries, of pools, of great TTC service, and we're going to continue to fight so that our kids can have a great city too, and have public, safe daycare while we're at work.
We just have one more message to Mayor and his council. Keep your mitts off our child care centers.
Well said.
First, I want to say it's so awesome that so many people are here, and we're standing out in the rain, and we're united to fight against the cuts with our neighbors and our friends and our communities. The Ford brothers have the luxury of having home gyms, want to be healthy. At the same time, they should be caring about the health of all residents of Toronto. Cutting rec centers and swimming pools, increasing user fees, removing bike lanes, not expanding, cutting HIV and drug prevention grants that not only reduce and stop the transmission of HIV and Hep C, but also support the thousands of people living with HIV in our community. A mayor with a vision would care about the health of all of us.
He doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Well,
Stop the cuts. Stop the cuts. Stop the cuts.
the rain is not going to stop us from chanting, right? We tonight, I just also want to acknowledge Brother Ken Luenza, President of Canadian Auto Workers, who is here with us. And then we also have Occupy Toronto folks who are here. We are all part of the 99%. Next up, on April 9th, when we mobilized for the 10,000 people rally, we asked the Ford administration to stop privatizing our jobs, to stop privatizing and contracting out. Over the last few months, the Ford administration has ran through that contracting out of the garbage collectors. So as of coming summer, west of Yonge Street, the garbage collection will be done by contractors. Coming summer, over 300 solid waste management workers will lose their jobs. One of them, Brian Damasco, is here with us, and he's going to speak about the stress and the experience of being a frontline workers in the city. Thank you.
How are you today, ladies and gentlemen? Brothers and sisters, as Winnie says.
All right.
I'm glad to be here to offer a couple of insights into what we're going through. First of all, I represent the family man who works every day. I have 3 kids at home and been with the City of Toronto for 15 years. The second thing I represent is Local 416. And I got a news for Rob Ford. We're not giving up without a fight, Ford. See, Rob Ford wants to blame my local and the working class people for the mistakes that those industry, KPMG and BMO and all those mistakes that Bay Street made. They want to blame us for the economy. And they want me to take a pay cut so I can't raise my children. Well, I got news for Rob Ford. We're mobilizing and we're organizing, and we're not going to stand still while you take what's ours.
Right on.
See, they say they got provisions in our contract. Well, guess what? The city sat down across from our local and agreed to those provisions.
Right on.
And those provisions will protect a guy like me, a family man who's been with the city long enough that he knows what this is all about. my brothers and sisters.